Hello and welcome to the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. I'm your host, the whiteologist, Mr. Blows Your Minds, and this is Black Minds News. Black Minds News is to report, articulate, transmit, communicate, insinuate, develop, investigate, unveil, decode, spread the news, whether by news, video, website, or quotes from publications. As I articulate this information, I accept the creator of the universe, be here, heart, soul, mind, and spirit, because why? The truth don't need no partner. As a descendant of the greatest people who created this place that we call the United States, we, the foundational black Americans, the bloodline historical lineage, the historical people known as slaves, we who today call ourselves BADOS, Black American descendant of slaves. Some say Black African descendant of slaves. Others say ADOS, American descendant of slaves. We, the today children, offspring, and present generation, we give honor to our ancestors. And you don't know what the motto of the show is? I'm never going to tell you what I heard. I'm only going to tell you what I know. Well, today's date is September the 20th, 2019, and we're going to go over to the state of Georgia. Did you hear? Well, looks like sometimes that, when people think about the elevations from, they say you get up into the moving on up, like the Jeffersons, right? And that you have studied hard, worked hard, got yourself in a position that you think that somehow that you got yourself out of being not colored because of your profession. You have elevated yourself to a class. And you do with people who got a little bit of something to do. We try to preserve and use our money and use the way that the establishment says that is appropriate how you handle the do business. So this individual here decided that he was going to go over and try to open up himself an account at one of his community banks. And a situation took place. Now, the question becomes, is the person who, again, when you hear the story and see what you see, they say prejudice means to prejudge. Can somebody mistakenly prejudge a situation and cause a situation unbeknownst, or could it just be the cloak that one hides behind, as I always talk about on this show? So, what we're going to see here, stay tuned, as Black Minds News disseminates this report here. Again, this is the most hated show in the black corner of black YouTube. Again, I'm your host, and stay tuned for this broadcast. Hey, how's y'all doing again? This is your host, Mr. Blows Your Mind. Again, today's date is September the 20th, 2019. First and foremost, I want to say what's good to my fam. Subscribers, old, new? I don't know, like no new ones lately, been holding me back. But anyway, what's good, fam? I know y'all probably been looking for me to do the live show, but again, I'm going to kind of hold out on that, right? We're going to hold that out for a minute because, again, we're going to see what's going on with this because, again, I'm building up some things, trying to go ahead and get this paper, but, we're going to do what we got to do. So, anyway, what's good to y'all, each and every one of you, and passerbys, you should happen to pass by. This is the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. Been in the business for 7 years, right? I have over 2.94 subscribers, right? Used to get 275,000 views, 50,000, 30,000, 20,000, so forth. But to today, we can't even get 40 views. Huh? Something over 365 days, 7 days a week. Hell, snow, rain, sleet. You name her claim, you name it, we open. It's open, right? We can't get 40 views. You tell me I ain't the most suppressed channel on Black YouTube. What is it that I say over here? That I can pick out other shows who do the same thing. So if you want to make it seem as if this show, that what I'm talking about, there ain't other shows out there, there ain't no lane for this, you going to be mistaken when it's time to, what do they say, cut the check. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and get into today's story. And welcome again. If you go down the aisle, see some things that you should like, go down the aisle. If you see something to make you feel some kind of way, remember the motto of the show is, the truth don't need no partner. I didn't even put my screen up there, didn't I? Y'all ain't told me nothing, right? But anyway, so there we go. So let me go ahead and tell you, go ahead and read this article for you right quick, because again, that's what it is, right? Got to first go ahead and give you that, and then we're going to get into that, and after this, she'll be right. Let's see what's going on here, man. You know, we got some technical difficulties over here, right? When you're the most hated show like that, right? So check this, I'll be right back. Georgia bank teller calls police on black doctor she assumed was robber. You know I'm going to say that again. Georgia bank teller calls police on black doctor she assumed was robber. This story is coming out of the Griot, September the 16th, 2019, and this is how it reads. A Georgia doctor believes he was racially profiled by a bank employee who called the cops on him because she assumed he was there to rob the establishment. According to told a local station WSB-TV, Anthony Onyebula was waiting to open an account at the United Community Bank in Stockbridge, Georgia, with his wife when he stepped outside to call her, but the bank teller locked him out of the building and called police. They said I was suspicious. I was wearing a hat, and they thought I wanted to rob the bank, and I was like, what? Recall ONYEBULA, who treats cancer patients in suburb Atlanta of Henry County. Until it happens to you, you never know what it feels like. In the 911 audio, which was obtained by the news station, the employee can be heard describing the physician as a menacing character to authorities. He went to the front door and he's been on his phone, and I'm called from my phone to tell the employees to lock the front door. She tells the dispatcher he's been on his phone out front and we have no cars out in the parking lot. He's a walker, so I feel like he's up to no good, she added. Onyebula and his wife had already decided to take their business to another bank in the area when they were approached by police. Here come the same police. Came inside the bank. Now it's two of them. And they said they told the manager to clear the room because they wanted to talk to us. Onyebula explains of the stunning turns of events. After asking a few questions to clarify their intent, the police left them alone without filing any charges. You cannot judge someone from the outside, continued a doctor who strongly believes he was targeted due to race. Providing excellent customer service is our top priority, and we are disappointed that we didn't deliver that to Dr. Onyebula and Tuga in this case. United Community Bank responded in a statement. This afternoon, we are able to speak directly to Dr. Onyebula and Tuga to personally apologize for the misunderstanding. We are glad for the opportunity to connect and improve and hope to have an opportunity to earn their business in the future.
You never know what it feels like. Anthony Onyebula spends most of his days treating cancer patients as a doctor in Henry County. But Thursday afternoon, he spent part of his day under suspicion of being a potential criminal.
They said I was suspicious. I was wearing a hat, and they think I want to rob the bank. I'm like, what?
He says he was at the United Community Bank on Eagles Landing Parkway to open a new account with his wife. While he was on the phone with her, an employee was on the phone with 911.
He went to the front door and he been on his phone, and I called from my phone telling the employees, lock the front door.
I looked at it, the door says close at 4:30. And my time said about 2:15, 2:10. I'm like, what happened?
He's been on his phone out front, and we have no cars in the parking lot. He's a walker, so I feel like he's up to no good.
ONYEBULA says he and his wife left and went to another nearby bank, and that's when they realized police had been called for him.
Here come the same police. Came inside the bank. Now it's two of them. And then they said they told the manager to clear the room because they wanted to talk to her.
Alright, so we back, right? So we see that in Stockbridge, Georgia, a doctor named Anthony ONYEBULA, who's a cancer patient doctor, said that he wanted him and his wife, decided they want to go ahead and open up them an account at the United Community Bank there in Georgia. And upon him getting there, him being on the telephone, right, try to get in, he said he gets there, it's around about 2 in the afternoon. He said the bank said don't close till about 4:30, right? He kind of figured out, well, damn, what's going on? So he like, well, obviously, I guess his intuition kicked in. And he felt like, well, maybe they didn't want me here. Unbeknownst to him, he said, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave, right? But unbeknownst to him, he don't know what's happening inside. So based on him, kind of recognize there's something not right. Nothing's copacetic about him being able to get in a bank that should be open. So I take and go to somewhere else, right? But unbeknownst to him, he doesn't recognize that there was somebody. Again, we have to take the words that were said, right? Again, you know, on this show here, what Black Minds do, we teach you how to be a good listener. Because, you know, a lot of people, they like to talk, but a lot of people don't hear too well. So let's look at what the person who ended up, the bank person, well, this person don't even seem like it was, this person was even inside the establishment. I'm going to say that again. Based on what this person said, I don't believe they were inside the establishment. So that means that if you weren't inside, let's see really the state of mind you might have been in. So she calls 911, as you've seen ONYEBULA, right? The doctor there, right? Unless she thought there was one of them black masks, you know, that you've been seeing. Again, we did that story, right? Where they got them black masks that trying to look and pass as a black person that a white person put on and go around doing fuck shit and then trying to make it look like it's somebody black. Maybe that's what she thought, right? Right. Okay, whatever. So anyway, she says he went to the front door. Now, he went to the front door. Where's your position to recognize he went to the front door? Are you inside the bank or were you outside of the bank? Think about that. When she said he went to the front door, now you would assume that she's from the inside, right? Think about it, right? If you was a bank teller, those who might have done that once upon a time coming up, you know the kind of way the bank position the tellers, you get to see the front door, see everybody coming in. So, okay. Okay, he went to the front door. He's been on his phone. So you are observing the situation. You've seen when he came to the door, and you recognize he's also been on his phone. Now, when you say been on the phone, okay, been means certain periods of time, right? Has some time left in been, B-E-E-N, right? Been on the phone means you've been watching, observing that this person's been on the phone for a minute. And so she says in the next breath, again, this is how you have to be a good, tent listener and wordsmith, right? So she says, called from my phone. Now, wait a minute. You called from your phone. So I'm going to have to be, based on I wasn't there, and I have to take what your words say, and then I have to go into try to reenact in my mind about being in the position and where everybody's at. When you call from your phone, you went inside the establishment, right? You went inside because you had to be outside, like he was outside, right? Anybody who don't agree, well, just go ahead and tell me. You put in your comment there. So we're going to say that you were outside too. That you called from the phone, from your phone, to tell the employees to lock the door. Now, you were being in the establishment, right? Now, somebody said, well, maybe she's in her office. You know what I'm saying? She's sitting there looking out the window, seeing this man come up or see these people coming up, and she decides they look suspicious. Wait a minute, you are a bank. People come in there all the time, but I guess it's kind of like Cheers. Everybody knows your name, huh? And they're always glad you came, right? So you know every person got every account in this bank, right? Okay, so she goes on and says that he's been on the phone out front. See? He's been on the phone out front. So again, maybe Mrs. Blows Your Mind could be, maybe assessing the situation a little differently. Maybe she's there. Maybe, her office is right there. And she can see out the window she's observing. But also she could be on the outside. Because again, she said some other things. I'm like, damn, you observing everything to be somebody to be inside, right? So she says he's been on the phone out in the front. And she says, we have no cars in the parking lot. Now, if you inside the building, how do you know if there's cars in the parking lot? Again, I don't know what the establishment looked like entirely. Maybe somebody started looking out the window. You understand? I guess you're very apprehensive and very jittery and nervous when you work at the bank because you're always under the spirit of thinking somebody gonna come in and stick y'all ass up, right? So, all right, so that being the case, she says he's a walker. Now, wait a minute. A walker. I mean, he's walking in the bank, or does that mean that you're not doing bank through the drive-through? Okay, so sometimes people walk in the bank. I mean, before there was drive-throughs, that's the way you had to come in the bank. Man, those who've been around long enough, you didn't have no drive-through. You had to come walk your ass through the door to come to the bank and do your business through the teller. So now because you are saying on the phone of the 911 dispatch, he's a walker, right? So that means danger because he's a walker, right? They're walking into the bank, okay? So she said, I feel like he's up to no good. Now, when did we ever hear that term before? Sound like that was George Zimmerman saying that about Trayvon. Remember Trayvon Martin? He looked like he's up to no good. What does that even mean? Right? Now again, the whole thing here is somebody looking suspicious to them, their observation. Now what makes a man look suspicious on his phone in the day and age we in today? Everybody pretty much, you see everybody is on their phone at a bank. Now again, it's 2 in the afternoon, right? Doesn't mean you're going to always have a lot full of cars and business, right? There's going to be a dry spell and there may a couple. When you first open up, are you calling the police when the first person comes to the door? right? But if they white, do you think they suspicious is the question. Is they suspicious if they white? Or because maybe the man again kind of had that resemblance, got that mask. Maybe you done seen the video too, and you talking that maybe he didn't look like he was authentically black. He looked like he kind of got a mask or something. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you was quick to jump on that 911, right? And so that was under her suspicion that she believed that he was this menacing character as they talked about. I said menacing, right? You seen that brother in there, right? Did that brother look menacing to y'all? Right? The brother, you know what I'm saying? So, again, here's two situations happening at the same time. One person know what they doing. The other person have no knowledge what is being taken place. They decided, okay, you didn't want my business. So what they do, they drive on off. They go to another establishment and say, well, you don't want my business here. I'll go somewhere else. Now, unbeknownst to them, they go to a bank. And all of a sudden, there's some cops come up to them. Right? So the cops two cops come in, they tell the manager, hey, we need you to clear out everything. We need to talk to y'all. Now, wait a minute. Check this out. You said there was a walker to make it seem like this person who was coming into the bank. Now, I'm backtracking a little bit. Remember when she said that he was a walker? But how did they drive to the other place? Did they walk to it or did they drive to the other place, which means there was a car, which means you should have also seen his wife in the car with him, right? And you seen that and you just ignored that because you said there was no other car, but they came with a car, right? You seen the car drive up. You see somebody on the phone because somebody had been on their phone already prior to them pulling up to the bank and finishing their conversation before they went into the bank. Does everybody want to hear? Like sometimes you be on the bus or you be on the train and you hear other people's conversation. Now you ain't trying to hear all that bullshit. You know, some people, you know what I'm saying, they be embellishing, making all that extra bullshit. You ain't trying to hear all that shit, right? So again, being etiquette, polite and etiquette. He trying to finish up and then come in. But some odd reason, you see this man and first thing you thinking is motherfuckers coming here to rob. What made him look like he was robbing? You understand? And see, again, I feel like, and again, we understand everybody trying to protect themselves. But again, that just go to show that your spider sense ain't working. Your ADT is off. You need somebody to come in there and rechange your shit. You need a technician because your shit is off. That you seen a situation that a man who's in there come to real do business, your discernment was like, he coming to rob. All the way wrong. And then here it is a situation they done left and go somewhere else. Now they dealing with police. Talking about clear the bank. What? You know what I'm saying? Clear the bank out, right? And we finna ask some questions. Now again, between you and the police in that situation, something goes down. They got everything to support the fact that again you was already called about suspicion of being a robbery. Something went down and boom, 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 and then now again you dead, and then here they is dealing with the situation based on the cops say, well, we was responding to a call to the 911 call said somebody said this person he was suspicious of robbing the bank and they went to another bank, and then they'll make their story up, and then okay, ta-da, you okay? You know what I'm saying? Charge it to the game, right? And so the whole situation had to be looked at. The fact that this person here, again, can hide behind the simple fact of my job. I have a job, and I can say that I believe that somewhere in the coldness of whiteness, that a lot of them believe that they want to help in the cause of trying to make MAGA by bagging a nigga if they can get the opportunity. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of them do this, right? A lot of them play this little game as to try to pretend as if like, I ain't just trying to do my job and I was just trying to protect this stuff. But again, what part of suspicion did a person driving up to a bank, getting out and going in? What made you think? Because I don't think nobody who robbing a bank is trying to put all this extra to be caught out there getting video footage of myself on the phone before I get in and make suspicious so that you can do what you did. I think if I'm going to do that, I'm going to come right on in. No hesitate, get to the point, get up out of there. You understand? But, this is something internal that people like You know what I'm saying? The difference they say between Donald Trump and the Joe Biden. They say, well, if Donald Trump is supposed to be an out straight racist, they say Joe Biden is the consolation to that. He's trying to fight not to be that. But yet, this old Tennessee's and Joy Reid said those dings in the D-I-N-G, right? D-I-N-G, dings in people of America, of the descendancy here that had these tropes, as they say, that constantly keep revealing themselves, right? And so you had this person here who seemed to be thinking that, you know, black person is suspicious at a bank because we know damn well generational wealth, you don't got no money. So, you know, I don't believe you got no money to be coming in this bank anyway. Not sure where Stockbridge, Georgia is, but him being a doctor out there, I'm pretty sure the percentages, he's, you know, a handful, you know, a dime a dozen. You can find one like himself out there. You get what I'm saying? And so you put yourself in a situation like that. But again, like he said, you know, you don't know what it feels like until you encounter or been in those situations. And for a lot of other people, you know, when you're on the other team or the other uniform that you wear, and again, you don't go through that because, again, a call to the police can make the difference between life and death when we going through those situations, depending on who the officers are, right? Officer or officers. Again, it could be somebody, race, soldier, whatever it is, and they feel, hey, I got a chance, here's an opportunity. You know, again, air and opportunity is all motherfucking need, and that's what they end up happening. So, again, here's the story for you. You tell me what you think about it, because, again, was it by, you know, suspicion due to the Central Bank, one car, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, or did this person had an itch and was trying to get something scratched, right? On the part that, again, you was outside. Based on what I'm hearing your word, you had to be outside. You seen the car come. You seen the person, you know what I'm saying? The wife is in there too, right? Because again, when he went to the other bank, they said they want to talk to us, meaning him and who was with him, us. But again, when she talked on the 911, she never said that somebody was in the car waiting. See, if somebody was in the car waiting, but they not in the driver's seat, why you going to be in the passenger? So you going to stick up and run and get in, crank the car, drive? No, somebody who outside supposed to be what? The driver. Why you know what I'm saying? So she didn't mention that. So that tells me there was some deceit behind the fact of what she was saying. Again, I'm Black Minds News, and this is the most hated show, Black Corner of YouTube. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, do what we do. Again, I want you to comment, like, share, subscribe, dislike, whatever floats your boat, right? You gotta do what you gotta do, right? So again, I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation, clicking on the video. Thank you kindly. Again, when you see one another, greet one another. What's good, brother? What's good, sister? Can't do that much, at least give that universal nod. Understand that the team and the uniform that you wear. And understand that those who are on your team. And yes, allies are good. But you better ask your allies a couple questions. If shit and when shit get hot, are you going to still be in the frying pan with us? Have you ever heard of John Brown? Is that real to us or real to you? Or that's some shit y'all told us to make us believe that in a once upon a time there was one white man who in his whole family decided to fight against white supremacy and all the wrongness. And he said some things before he died. Is that true? God stands as the time is dawning on us that is some but not all, some but all, that seek for our demise. So it is incumbent that we, as the BADOS, stay vigilant, mindful, cautious, and high spirit. Again, I'm your host, Mr. Load Your Minds, and this is Black Minds News Report. Until the next show, peace and love. To the next show.
You